Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So this video is going to be an update Q&A on me being 3 months postpartum. So I did do an update when I was 1 month postpartum, so I feel like 1 month to 3 months really is such a huge change and such a huge shift. So I really wanted to update you guys on how I was feeling. I actually get a lot of DMs asking me, a lot of questions and how I'm doing and all that stuff. So I asked you guys over on my Instagram to ask me some questions that you're curious about with me being 3 months postpartum. I reached 3 months on the 13th, so Kayvon turned 3 months old on the 13th. So it's been a few days and lots has changed since the last time I updated you guys. But before we get into today's questions, I quickly want to shout out my Savage X Fenty fam. You guys know I'm a Savage X Fenty ambassador, so I want to show you guys some of my favorite pieces of the month, and I'll have links for you guys down below. So if you guys become a Savage Extra VIP member, you guys can get 50% off your entire first order, and also you can get 2 bras or bralettes for $29 as well. So make sure you guys check out that deal. It's such a good deal. You should definitely become a Savage Extra VIP member if you haven't already, and make sure you guys use my link down in the description box. But yeah, let's get into some of my favorite pieces. So here's the first set from Savage I have to show you guys. I actually posted a picture of this over on my Instagram, which I'll put on the screen, but I love this one. The colors are so pretty. So it's this like electric blue and this lime green. This is just such a comfy set to just lounge around the house in, and I just took off my biker shorts, by the way, so that's why I have these lines like going across. I really love this set, and I love this style because it's just so cute and casual. So this lingerie set over here is so different and so fun. I've never seen anything like this. It is this lime green little lace top with the matching panties. So the panties are actually crotchless and like assless, like your whole butt is out. So obviously I'm not going to turn around and show you guys, but super cute to wear, on a fun little night with your mans. These buttons do unbutton, by the way, and then also you can adjust this tie down here to cinch in, and also it is sheer, so I am wearing nipple covers underneath. But yeah, this is just such a fun, different piece. Next set over here, this one is the definition of princess vibes. It is so cute. It is pink and it has like diamonds and lace and gauze. It's super girly, super fun. So the top actually came with additional padding at the bottom, like to make it super push-up. I took it out, and then the matching panties are the same as the lime green ones I just showed you. So the exact same style, except just different colors, and these are also assless as well. But I really love this one. Like when I wear this, I just feel like a little Barbie princess. I also picked up just a basic black bra, but it's so comfortable. And then these panties that I paired it with are their microfiber thongs. You guys, these panties are so comfortable. Get the microfiber thong in like every single color. So mine is in hot pink, but I definitely need these in every single color. I need black, I need nude, I need them all. And also guys, let me know if any of you guys had a baby. Let me know when this line goes away. Like I'm honestly like pretty self-conscious about it. Like I got this line during my pregnancy. I just want to know when I can expect it to go away. I'm 3 months postpartum, so hopefully within the next few months, that'd be great. You guys, this set, by far my favorite set that I'm showing you guys in today's haul. So it is this Unlined sheer bralette, and it's orange, and it has the little Savage X logo charm in the middle. So freaking comfortable, you guys. I absolutely love the fit. And then it also has the matching G-string, and what makes the G-string so cute is the back. I'm gonna take it off and like show you guys. It has a little like medallion on the back, and it just like sits right at the top of your crack, and it just looks so good, you guys. But I just feel like $1,000,000 in this set. I love the color, I love the fit, and it's just perfect.
Sexy as hot mama.
The last lingerie piece I have to show you guys, I think you guys have already seen this like all over Instagram. I feel like everybody's wearing this because it's just that perfect. It's so cute, so comfortable. And Mel, you guys just saw at the beginning, Mel just walked in on me wearing this and he was like, sheesh. But this little lace one piece is so freaking sexy. This one piece just screams spring, you guys. That was a little tongue twister, but I love, love, love the colors. I love the lace. I love the little cutouts it has on the sides. And this lingerie, like it just reminds me of something you'd wear on your wedding night. Don't you think? Like this is definitely like wedding night vibes. Also, I probably look so different in this video because I'm wearing the heaviest eyeliner. I have not worn winged eyeliner, let alone eyeliner on my bottom waterline in the longest time. And I look at myself in the viewfinder and I'm like, who is she? Who is that? I posted a TikTok of this makeup. And by the way, if you guys aren't following me on TikTok, I just started getting more active on TikTok. I'll put it on the screen right here, but make sure you guys follow me over on there. But without further ado, let's get into the questions. I'm 1 month postpartum and IDK had to deal with it. Sometimes I feel like I don't bond with my son. So when I read this, I kind of felt a little bit of relief because I honestly kind of felt that way at the beginning too. You know, obviously I loved my son with all my heart, but I didn't feel like super connected to him at first. And I think it was just from it being my first child and going through like giving birth, it was just very overwhelming all at once. I honestly didn't feel like I started really bonding with Kayvon until he was like a few weeks old, probably at like the 5 or 6 week mark. I feel like that's when I just started to bond with him. And I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, if I didn't have a baby and I heard someone say that, I'd be like, you're crazy. Like, you literally birthed that human being. How are you guys not bonding? It's honestly hard to explain and really put it into words, but I think it's just because they're just sleeping all the time. All they do literally is sleep. Especially as a newborn, like all they do is sleep. All they do is sleep, eat, and poop. Like those are the 3 things that they do. So it's kind of hard to really bond with them. And again, I was a new mom, so I didn't really know how to do a lot of things. I was not around babies at all until I had my own baby. I didn't have any younger siblings, younger cousins. I was the youngest always. And honestly speaking, I was really scared to be alone with him at first. Like the first few weeks, you could not leave me alone with him because I just didn't know what to do. Like I didn't want to do anything wrong. And I was just scared. Like I remember when he would cry, like the first thing I would do is like call for Mel. Like I'd be like, Mel, come help me. Or my mom, come help me. I never really took the time to like figure out what was wrong myself just because I was like so nervous being a first-time mom. So definitely that's so normal. Give it some time. You know, you expect for it to be so easy at first and just to be like the most natural thing, but honestly it does take some time to get comfortable around your baby, especially if you've never been around a baby before, because they're just so delicate. Like you don't want to hurt them, you know what I mean? Thoughts on the whole snapback culture. Honestly, I feel like I've talked about this before on my channel. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys know I'm all about doing whatever makes you happy. I don't judge women at all. Like if you want to be natural, be natural. If you want to get work done, get work done. Like I don't care. It's your body, your money, so I really don't care what you do with it. So the whole snapback culture, I definitely don't think you should be hard on yourself. It took 9 months for your body to get to the way it was before you gave birth. So give yourself that exact same time afterwards, if not more. So I was really hard on myself on the beginning, but after I saw how naturally I just started to shed the baby weight without even trying, I was like, what was I worrying about? Like if you compare my body to 6 months postpartum to 3 months postpartum, it's such a huge difference. And I shed so much weight and I honestly haven't really been trying. You know, I haven't really gone into working out yet. And again, I'm 3 months postpartum. It's so hard when you're adjusting to having a new baby. Like you have to completely shift your whole schedule. I still haven't gotten a good routine down where I get my free time, Mel gets his free time, we both take care of the baby, and we both have, you know, time for ourselves at night. Like right now I'm filming this at 10 o'clock at night, like after I put Kayvon down. Like I should have done this during regular business hours. I'm breastfeeding. I think that's why my body's just shedding the weight. And honestly, I'm just so busy nowadays, like with Vaughn and with, you know, everything else and with working. Like I don't even have time to eat anymore. And I don't want to say that and people to think like I'm starving myself. I'm definitely not. I'm still eating. But the amount I'm eating now versus when I first had the baby, like it's crazy. Like you should have seen the breakfast my mom would make me right after I had the baby. Like I would eat oatmeal, like the most high fat, high carb breakfast, like oatmeal, this dish called shilikin, which is literally crepes fried in ghee with date syrup. Literally like 1,000,001 calories with a big bowl of fruit. And that was just my breakfast, and I'd eat like 3 meals a day. Now I eat like less than half of that, and you can definitely see like my body is just shedding the weight naturally. But back to your question on my thoughts on snapping back. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to snap back. I know a lot of people are super anti-snap back, like you don't need to go back to the way you were, just keep eating what you want, like you just had a baby, like relax, cut yourself some slack. I definitely agree, cut yourself some slack, but for me, if I don't take care of my body physically, I'm not going to be happy mentally. And if I'm not happy mentally, I can't be the best mom to my son, you know? So for me, definitely, I'm going to slowly start incorporating working out every day. That's something I really, really need to get back to. I just ordered a treadmill last week, so I have a treadmill now. I got no excuses. Definitely want to get back to that. I've been watching my eating and I've just felt a lot better. So I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to snap back, but again, cut yourself some slack. It took you 9 months to get to the point that you were. You're not going to go back to your old body like overnight, you know? And I've also accepted the fact that my body is never going to go back to the way it was exactly like before I had a baby. But I'm just saying this now, like, I would not trade my son for the world. If it was like, would you rather have your old body or your son? Like, obviously I'm gonna pick my son any day. Like, will you get a tattoo dedicated to Kayvon or your future kids? So actually, I don't have any tattoos, nor do I want any tattoos. And I never say never, but I can say like a good 99.9% I'm sure that I want no tattoos, but Mel is actually getting some tattoos related to Kayvon. I don't want to say what he's getting because I don't know if he wants it to be like a secret and he wants to do like a whole video on it or whatever. He wants to get tattoos for all of our kids. So I come up with the ideas and then we put it on Mel. Please give us your tips on losing the baby weight. So I kind of already mentioned that in the previous question, but again, I just eat so much less. Like, that's, at the end of the day, that's how you lose weight. You lose weight by eating in a caloric deficit. If you're breastfeeding, you naturally burn, I think you burn about like 300 to 500 calories a day just for producing milk. Do you plan on getting on birth control? If so, which one? Love you, by the way. Love you too. So yes, I'm definitely planning on getting on birth control. We don't want to have another baby, at least for another 2 years. So actually, when I saw my doctor, I talked to her about getting put on an IUD. So I've never had an IUD before, but the one I decided on was Paragard, the copper IUD, and that one's supposed to last you like 10 years. And so I actually decided to go and get that. And then I got a call from my doctor saying that my insurance doesn't cover the IUD and it's almost $1,000. It's like 900 something. And part of me was like, is it worth getting the whole like IUD considering the fact that I want to have a baby in like 2 years? Like, I'm not even going to use it for the full like 10 years. My skin got super, super clear when I was pregnant. Like, it was the most beautiful my skin has been in my life. And I'm definitely starting to break out again. It's definitely not like how it was when I was pregnant. So obviously the hormones when I was pregnant really helped clear up my skin. Maybe my doctor can recommend me like a pill that can help my acne. I know that orthotricycline is a birth control that's really good for acne. So I'm actually going to call her and talk to her about that. And I think I'm just going to take a pill instead of doing the IUD, which isn't going to be hard for me. I take vitamins every single day and I'm really, really good and diligent about taking my vitamins every day. So I can easily just, you know, take my birth control pill. I won't really like forget it. You know what I mean? So this was the burning hot question in my DMs, you guys. And it was, how's your sex life, sis? Or it's just like, how was the first time you had sex? Which I know for pretty much every woman, that's like the number one thing that you're worried about after you have a baby. Like for me, it was taking a shit and having sex. Like those two things, I was like, am I ever gonna do those two things again? So I was terrified to have sex. Like honestly, I was so scared. And we really took our time. So my doctor at my 6-week appointment, she actually asked me, she's like, have you been sexually active? I'm like, no, I thought you were supposed to like approve me for that. But she's like, oh yeah, you're healed beautifully. Like go ahead and do what you want to do. She's like, take it slow. And I'm like, okay, even though I was like, I wish she told me I wasn't ready, you know what I mean? Because I'm like so scared. And obviously Mel is so supportive. He was like, take your time. He wasn't like forcing me or rushing me to, you know, have sex if I wasn't ready. So at the 6-week mark, I got approved, like I'm like applying for a loan. Like I was told I can have sex, but I still didn't. So a week later, we finally tried, and it took us 3 tries to finally actually do it. Like, guys, I'm telling you, like when it would get to the point, like we'd be like, you know, doing our thing, and when it got to the point of putting it in, like the first 2 times I would start profusely shaking. The first time I started crying because I just felt like shit. I was like, are we ever gonna have sex again? Like I literally thought we just weren't ever gonna do it again. Like all I could think about was giving birth. I just thought of like me ripping and blood spewing everywhere. And I thought about the size of Kayvon's head coming out of me. Like I just thought that's all that was going through my mind when I was trying to be intimate with my husband. Like obviously not sexy, not something that's gonna get you in the mood, you know what I mean? So I just started profusely shaking and crying, and I was like, okay, obviously we're not gonna do this tonight. So that was at the 8-week mark. So then we tried again. Same thing happened. I was profusely shaking, and actually I started profusely shaking when I was giving birth too. My doctor explained to me that's just one of the body's mechanisms for when you're in stress. So that happened to me again. So again, 3rd time, finally we got it in, and we just took it really slow. Like it was so slow. Like I literally thought it's like almost like you're losing your virginity again. Like that's kind of how it feels. Like we just took it extremely slow. There was only one position that didn't hurt for me. Like we did one position, very slow, and it was good. Like I was just happy. We were both just happy we made progress. We're like, okay, this is better than me, you know, shaking and crying. So that was better. And honestly, it took like 4 times after that for it to finally like feel good. And honestly, you guys, now TMI, but I feel like our sex life is honestly the best it's ever been. It's kind of like we're rediscovering each other, and I feel like we're even more closer and more intimate because like we have a baby together. Like that's just like a level of intimacy that's just unmatched. Honestly, it's kind of weird talking about this on camera, especially because I feel like a lot of people who watch my videos still view me as like the 15-year-old girl in my pink bedroom in my parents' house in Ohio. Like guys, I'm a mom, I'm married, like I'm a whole ass wife. Like obviously I'm having sex. But anyways, as I was saying, like I'm just talking to you guys like I was talking to Yasmin and Ponce, because they even asked me too, like how is it? And honestly, I feel like it's gone even better. So definitely my advice is just to take it slow. Even though at 6 weeks you're technically ready to do it, you don't have to do it then. Like it took me more time than that. Like it took me like almost 2.5 months after having a baby to finally feel ready to have sex, and that was just like even doing the bare minimum, you know? So definitely be patient with yourself, take your time. This was another popular question, and I actually tweeted about this the other day, but how was your first period? So I actually got my period a few days ago, so pretty much right when I hit like 3 months postpartum, I got my period back, which I was actually very shocked because I hear a lot of women don't get their period if they're breastfeeding. So I thought because I'm breastfeeding I wasn't gonna get my period for like a really long time, but maybe because I pump, like maybe because he doesn't really like, he does, I still breastfeed him like from the breast. Like I probably nurse him like once or twice a day, but his like 5 other feedings a day are bottle fed. So I don't know if that's the reason why I got my period back so quick, but it was very smooth. Like I didn't cramp that bad. That's why I was pretty shocked when I got it, because I got like no cramping. But like my period before I had a baby was never super heavy or super crampy. Like I only cramped like the first 1 or 2 days, and this time like it was just very smooth. It was only a few days. It was pretty light, and it wasn't like light, it was like moderate, but it wasn't bad. Like it really wasn't that much of a nuisance like it used to be. But I hear that a lot of people say like your period after you have a baby just won't be as bad as it was before you had a baby, and it was pretty true for my case. I was just shocked that I got it so quick, you know? Did you notice your hips get wider? Yes, definitely the biggest change in my body I see is my hips gotten so much wider, and my rib cage has gotten a lot wider. Those are like the 2 parts of my body I really see a difference in. Have you started losing your hair from postpartum yet? I'm 1 month postpartum and I'm not ready for that. Girl, yes. Oh my gosh. My hair, like especially I would say starting a few weeks ago, my hair has just been falling out like crazy. Like after every shower, I have a hairball like this big. Like it's crazy, especially when I'm like styling my hair. Like if I'm brushing my hair, straightening it, curling it, doesn't matter. The floor of the bathroom when I'm done is just covered in hair. Like I have to vacuum my bathroom every single time after I like style my hair. I see some women for postpartum hair loss like lose hair like up here, like towards their hairline. I don't really notice that. I just notice like literally like strands of my hair just comes out whenever I touch it, rake my fingers through it. If I'm just putting my hair up in like a ponytail, I look at my hands and they're like covered in hair. Do you ever feel self-conscious? Of course I do. I'm human, just like all of you guys. I'm definitely a lot less self-conscious than right after I had the baby. Like the first, you know, month after definitely was the most self-conscious I've been in my life, just because I lose skin and I've gained a bunch of weight. Like definitely that was the most self-conscious I've been, and because like I wasn't really taking care of myself and I was still in pain from giving birth. So I definitely am a lot less self-conscious than I was now. But no matter what, I'm always going to be self-conscious. Like again, I'm human. I have my insecurities just like anybody else. And sometimes again, when I'm watching my old videos or looking at my old pictures and I'm like, oh my God, like my body was so bomb. But it's crazy because at that time, I didn't think that. I still at that time when I was at my skinniest, I was like, I need to lose more weight, you know? Like it's like you're never going to be satisfied. And I feel like that's one thing having a baby taught me, is to be a lot more kinder to myself, that my body is so powerful. Like I shouldn't like be so hard on myself. And again, I wouldn't trade anything in the world for my son. What is the most challenging for you as a young new mom? I think it's just balancing the fact that I'm still young and I still want to have fun with being a mother. You know, mom shamers, the Karens of the world be on your Instagram and your YouTube trying to tell you that you're a bad mom for doing this and a bad mom for doing that. And I think that's definitely the hardest part. Like again, at the end of the day, I'm only 21 and I turned 21 when I was pregnant. Like every time I post like on my story that I'm drinking, again, I still feel like people view me as that 16-year-old girl who lived in her parents' house with her pink bedroom But you know, I get like comments like, aren't you a mom? Like, why are you drinking? Like, aren't you breastfeeding? You shouldn't be drinking, which is a myth. You can drink when you breastfeed. I actually took a whole breastfeeding course at the hospital and they told us you're allowed to drink when you're breastfeeding. You know what? I personally got pretty lucky with the timing of when the whole quarantine happened because it was right after I had a baby. So I had to sit my ass at home anyway. So I didn't really have that FOMO of seeing my friends at parties or events going on and I wasn't able to go because I just had a baby. So it's gonna start hitting me now when I see, you know, parties and things like that and I can't go because, you know, I have to stay home with the baby. But it's actually not as bad because my parents came to visit for a week because they were here. Mel and I, after we put Kayvon down, we would drive over to our friend's house. Like we went over to Justice and Kayla's house a few times until like 3 in the morning. And I had a sense of how it was before I had a baby. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is back. This is what Mel and I were able to do all the time without a second thought. You know, like we were able to go out and not come home until like 5 in the morning if we want to. So yeah, just definitely balancing like going out to events and having fun and partying and stuff with having a baby is definitely the hardest part. Like I know Yasmin for her birthday, she wants to go to Miami and I want to go too, and so does Mel. So we're like, okay, what do we do with the baby? So we might drop him off in Ohio with both of his grandparents. So we have to like figure stuff like that out. Like we should not have to think about that stuff at all. Like Mel and I were going on little weekend trips all the time. So that's definitely the hardest part, but again, I wouldn't change it for the world. And again, just dealing with mom shamers and just mom guilt. Like mom guilt is the worst, but I think I'm pretty good at like being very easy with myself and understanding that I'm still young, I still want to have fun, and there's nothing wrong with me having me time and still enjoying my life with having a baby. So this is the last question I'm going to be answering. What was the hardest part? Getting back to your body before, baby blues, postpartum depression? Definitely the hardest part for me was breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is so much harder than you think it is. I don't want to say that to discourage you guys at all. I just want to let you know if you're like me and expect it to be something so easy, so natural. Like when I thought of breastfeeding, I just thought you whip out your boob, the baby latches on, and boom, you know, it's that simple. But then you have to worry about having a low milk supply and having troubles with the baby latching on, and if you sleep too long and you don't wake up in time, you're gonna wake up in a pile of milk and just things like that. Like I didn't know there were so many components to breastfeeding. Like I just thought, again, your boobs just made enough milk, the baby just latched on, and boom, like you're done. Like I thought it was that simple, but it's not. So definitely that was one of the hardest parts. I definitely do go through times where I'm overwhelmed. Like again, guys, I'm human. I'm filming this video at like 12 when I should be sleeping, working your routine. Like you have to completely redo your routine. Like now I always tell my friends, like back when I thought I was busy, like girl, I did not know busy until I had a baby. Like busy, I can't believe I used to say I was busy before. Like busy doing what, sis? Like now I'm truly busy. Honestly, I wasn't gonna talk about this because it's pretty dark and like pretty scary, but I think it's important for new moms to be aware of this, or just moms in general. Like I think this is something that's very important to shed light on and awareness to, because you don't really think about this when you have a baby. Some weird shit happens like psychologically. And again, I wasn't gonna talk about this, but after I Googled it, I found out that it's so incredibly common. Like it's so common. And I think, again, it's important to shed light on this and let you know that you're not alone if you've had this as well. After I had Kayvon, I had super, I guess they're called intrusive thoughts. And I would just have these really dark, scary thoughts. Like there were these thoughts that like this whole part of my brain that I didn't even know existed, and it was really scary. It's like these thoughts aren't even your thoughts and they just like consume your mind. So after I Googled it and researched it, I found out it was super common, and honestly my case of it was extremely mild than what I saw online. I didn't even share this with anybody. Like I didn't even tell Mel about this until like a few weeks ago because it was just so weird. Like, so right after I had Kayvon, I don't know why, but I would have these super dark and scary thoughts. Like, you guys, if you've seen our house tour, you see that his room is across the hall and you have to walk past the staircase, the stair railing. And like every single, like for a month straight, like every single time I would walk with Kayvon in my arms, like from my room to his nursery or back and forth. Like I just always thought of him like being thrown down the stairs. Like I always just envisioned him like just toppling down the stairs or just like falling out of my arms and just like you know, like falling and like smashing on the floor. Like again, like they're just these super scary thoughts that you don't even want to say out loud. But when I would like walk him to his room or bring him back over here, like when I would walk past the railing, every single time I would think of him falling out of my arms. I would hold him in, like literally I would hold him like this, like all I could think about. Like it would just consume my mind. It was so terrifying. And I'd tell myself like, bro, stop thinking that. But like I just kept on thinking about him getting thrown off the staircase and falling down the stairs. And that was just one example. Like I would just think of this boy getting hurt in so many ways, and it was just so disturbing. And again, it was just like such a dark part of my mind that I didn't even know existed. Like every time I'd walk through a door frame and I was holding him like sideways, every single time I would just imagine his head getting like smashed in the door. Like it was horrible. Like I would just picture him getting hurt in every single way. And again, after I looked it up, it made me feel so much better, because I thought I was this dark, twisted human being. But it turns out a lot of new moms go through it. It's just your body's way of just assessing dangers, and again, being in mama bear mode and making sure your kid is safe. But again, through my research, I found that a lot of women think even darker thoughts and think about physically harming themselves or their child, which is why I want to talk about it in this video, that if you are having these intrusive thoughts, please, please, please reach out to your doctor. Please reach out to your doctor. I don't want you to hurt yourself. I don't want you to hurt your baby. And just know that you're not alone. Lots of new moms go through it. Like it's such an overwhelming thing. It's such a new change in our lives. And I know a lot of women have these thoughts, like these super scary thoughts of hurting their child, and it even makes them uncomfortable. Like, why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling this way? So if you are feeling this way, please, I urge you to seek help. Talk to somebody about it. Talk to a therapist. Talk to your doctor, because I really don't want you or your child getting hurt. But just know that you're not alone, and a lot of women go through that. I never had thoughts of physically harming my child, but I constantly just envisioned him being hurt. Like, I guess like it was postpartum anxiety, but I'm telling you guys, like 24/7, that's all I could think about was this child getting hurt. Like no matter what I was doing, I would just picture the most disturbing images of him. Like, I'm done talking about it. I honestly haven't had these thoughts. Like I can walk past the staircase normal now. Like again, at 3 months, I'm good now. But the first month, like first month and a half, like I would just picture him getting hurt all the time. And it was just it was so much. It was too much. But on that note, I'm going to end today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, if you guys have any other questions for me, let me know down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Again, don't forget to check out Savage X Fenty in the description box. And I will see you guys for our next video. Bye, guys.